Hola, hola,
Hola, ¿qué tal?
¿cómo andamos? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Bueno,
Aquí, ya,
para unos, buenos días para otros.
sí, buenos días para mí. Acabo de cambiar de fondo. Estoy de vuelta en mi vieja oficina.
Uf,
Mi oficina, cocina, comedor,
sala.
sala también. Sí, digo, todo está aquí directamente. Es accesible, quiero decir. Es a lo que voy. Es sobre
Sí,
accesibilidad, no sobre lo pequeño que es el departamento.
pero se ve cool, o sea, tu background está muy chido. Está como muy orgánico con la plantita y todo. Me gusta.
Las frutas y todo por ahí, ¿no?
Ujú.
Sí, es verle el lado bueno a las cosas, definitivamente.
Sí, aprovechar lo que se tiene, ¿no?
Sí, por ahí Víctor Mojica pregunta, ¿qué dicen las mañanas de Londres? Nada, frías, ruidosas. Y no, nada más eso.
¿Está sobre algún lugar donde haya mucho ruido? O sea,
Sí,
¿pasan muchos coches o qué?
ujú. Sí, 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 regularmente. Y ahorita como se supone que ya es verano, mucha gente aprovecha para salir con automóviles súper ruidosos.
Ujú.
Y bueno, por eso si de repente escuchan ahí algún auto o algo así, no crean que es de día por acá, sigue siendo de madrugada, pero la gente aprovecha.
Ujú. Cool. Bueno, no tan cool, de hecho.
Sí, no tan cool. Sí, ya espero pronto tener un background así como el tuyo, más, más de,
Streamer.
más de streamer. Así es, así es. Sí, estamos buscando un nuevo departamento, de hecho, así que pronto.
Ya. Pues ojalá que encuentres pronto, amigo.
Sí, 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 muchas gracias.
Cool. Pues hoy, ¿qué vamos a estar haciendo? ¿De qué vamos a estar hablando?
Pues el día de hoy vamos a estar hablando de proyectos personales, si no mal recuerdo, si no me traiciona la memoria.
Ujú. Sí, de hecho, en la última sesión llegamos a platicar, ¿no? Que queríamos hacer eh, una sesión en inglés. Entonces, pues igual estaría chido, ¿no? Armarla.
Sí, en mexicana ya está acostumbrada a ese ruido.
Ujú.
Sí, digo, pues,
Totalmente.
ujú, por mí está bien. Ahí ahorita nada más está chateando Víctor Mojica, pero no sé qué le parezca ahí a la audiencia, pero I'm, I'm more than happy to do it.
Nice. That's good to hear. All right. Um, well, I think that I can start. We made some sort of guideline in order to speak and have different ideas of what we are gonna talk. So the first question is that what sort of projects do you usually do? Uh, okay, right now I have pending one project, which is I'm the owner of the project inside of my enterprise, my company, and it's very interesting because I have started right now and it has a lot of technologies that I haven't used. I'm not usually to do and use that technologies, that sort of technologies, and it's actually an integration of uh, one of the technologies that we use to ask for food in
Mm.
within the company. So actually, this week I talked with Chris. Do you remember Chris? That we've been talking about React here in the show
Yes,
at the show,
Christopher
and
Snaya, right?
yeah, right. And he will join us. And actually,
Nice.
I introduced him today to the team. So it is quite difficult because for one side you are working with the client. I mean, directly with your main project inside the company. And recently I have I've been involved in different activities within the company, so it is hard to manage all your time and the projects that are not related with the client. So, well, I think that this introducing Christopher in this project is gonna be it's gonna I don't know how to say uh, maybe turn on again this project because
Oh, you're
right
gonna
now,
like restart it or like uh,
yeah,
bring more motivation to the team or something like that?
yeah, exactly, because not all the teams members of have enough time to work with this project. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you, how does that work? Because I mean, usually my personal projects are outside work, so I have like my supposed to be free time to work on them. But when you're working inside your company time, how does it work? Do you allocate specific blocks of time for it, or?
Yeah, we do actually have at the week two times which are dedicated for this specific project. These are Thursday and Thursdays. So I mean, at 5 p.m. we meet and talk about the ideas, the new tickets that we have in Trello, and if we solve some different unknowns in the project. So yeah, it's hard. It's as I mentioned, it's difficult because not always all the members are in this meeting. So yeah, it's quite difficult. But I think that you have to find that motivation and yeah, just reach the guy that you need at the time, maybe later or maybe at the next week or something. So it is not going so fast, but it is
Okay.
going, and that's the only thing that matters right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, slowly but steady, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I remember you
Mm.
talked about this project. It's where you can sort of like register some food that you don't want, right? At the end of the day or something like that. And someone can be
Yeah,
like, yeah, I want that.
yeah, exactly. Right now, you can ask for food. You have a menu, and you see all the meals, and you choose, for example, taking meals and at Wednesday, Friday, and Monday. And if you don't take one of these days, the food or the breakfast, uh, and if you don't go to Slack and say, "Hey, I'm not gonna take this meal," it is a waste of food right now because no one is taking, and yeah, it is wasted food. So we want to avoid these matters. So the the implementation is gonna take all these menus that we have and sort of be a PWA. I mean, it will be a web application, but actually it's more focused on mobile. But being a web application, and you can, for example, say, okay, I'm watching that someone is offering food, and I don't ask for this food. Uh, I don't know, for example, at the morning, and you see, okay, Antonio is offering his meals. So I'm gonna take these meals, and the current application that is working right now. Well, not right now because we are not asking or taking foods right now because we are at
Hmm.
home. But
Yeah.
yeah, it will try to avoid all this waste of food that it's currently happening at the company. And the interesting thing, I think, is the stack because it has technologies that at the beginning of the project someone of the team proposed, and I wasn't very experimental on those technologies when I start at the company. So right now I have learned a lot of these ones. So yeah, it's maybe it's not the big application for the company, but uh, it is working as a, you know, uh, learning a lot from different technologies. And uh, when you have enough time, you can improve and work with whatever you want in order to improve the flow of the development. And yeah, it's funny. It's hard, but it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably gonna turn into an interview for you, but I have two more
No,
questions. So
yeah,
so how do you deal with that? So do you tell your manager like, you know what, this time I want to work on this, or is something that your manager actively pushes you to? Uh,
we at this time we don't have a manager because he's uh, we do want to build this by ourselves without having a real project manager.
yeah, yeah, no, no. What I mean is like your current manager. Let's say your technical lead instead. Yeah,
Oh,
it might be your
okay.
technical lead, the one that sort of like
Hmm.
um, tells you, guides you as to what to do. So do you tell this person, you know what, this, I don't know if you man work in sprints. I mean, I don't really uh, want you to say it as such. If you don't want to, you don't. If you can't, let's say you say this week I want to uh, devote 2 hours towards this project, or is something that he or she uh, says, you know what, this time I want you to work 2 hours in this project, or I want you to have these 2 hours to do whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite difficult because we have to decide at week or maybe 2 weeks because we are not following sprints or something agile because it's kind of impossible. But yeah, we decide, for example, we create, or actually the last times I create all the stories that we need to accomplish for some sort of sprint. And we decide that what are actually those stories that we want to accomplish at these 2 weeks. So, and what we need to be very realistic because uh, there's a bunch of stuff that we haven't get from the main application that is handling all the requests from food at the
Mhm.
company. So yeah, I mean, right now we are just working on the backend. I mean, the team has 5 members including me, but we are just right now 4 members that are working on that. So those two guys from this 4 team is it's whole dedicated into the front end, but currently we just have the setup of the application. I mean, the incredible thing is that our UX, because we had a UX, and she designed all the screens from mobile design and the web application design. So we do have all this, and we don't have anything yet for the
For the
UI.
front end, okay.
Yeah, for the front end, but right now we are just working on the back end. So yeah, it's very hard. I mean, the the last 2 months we haven't touched anything because we are just full from with our clients and other projects that all the other members have. For example, I'm also working right now as an interviewer, so I have to. I'm just receiving a lot of mentoring and all the same. I've been involved in a lot of sessions with as shadowing. So yeah, there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
comes to our to our lives and at the work. Yeah, it's difficult, but I have decided that I don't want to waste more time. So this is because I look for Chris in order to get another member, another very valuable member, so that we can restart this project and finally finish it.
Yeah, I mean that's nice, and yeah, I mean I understand that it's incredible the amount of meetings that you can have. Even I think there are more meetings that you have to attend once
Yeah,
that you're at home. I mean that's probably a topic for another session, but man, Zoom has really broken the
yeah,
relationships. I mean, before then, people had to go and ask you probably directly, "Can you
yeah,
join this meeting?" But nowadays, they can just be like, "I want your time. Can you join?"
yeah, absolutely.
My
I'm
mic is muted. Can you hear me now? Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I lost you for a couple of seconds, but yeah.
I don't think I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me.
I think something happened in the UI.
Can you hear me now?
No, you're gone. Well, in the meantime, while Adrian solves his issues, welcome Carlos, welcome Code Roll, welcome Alonso, Jorge, Victor Mojica. I want some stouts. Veronica Woman, welcome. Hi. Um,
Can you
regarding the
hear me now?
stouts, yeah, I mean, as always, my current offer in my and the other channel is if you are able to come to London, obviously once COVID is over, hopefully soon, um, you might be entitled to a stout. We are listening to both, so even Adrian is there. Oh wait, I think they can hear you, Adrian.
Yeah.
Let me
Oh,
just
you can
check if it's
hear
not
me?
just my setup.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe just
Philly
me,
says
huh?
that. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, Philly says that he can hear me. So
Well, I can hear you, Adrian. They can hear you. I think it's just me. Let me just check
yeah.
something.
Yep.
Can you speak?
Yeah. Yep. Can you hear me now?
It was me. I think it was me. My God, I'm sorry. It's just that,
I was. Yeah, I was really worried because everything seems going well,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, let me explain you. I have this thing, which is like I don't know, like a dongle for my super fancy headset, which is actually a bit of rubbish. But yeah, I mean, now I'm plugged to surprise
okay.
the microphone. So yeah, I think it was me. I'm sorry everyone. I'm sorry everyone. I just wanted to make that announcement. You are again once COVID is over. Hopefully this will be over soon. Uh, you if you come to London, you might be entitled to some free stouts.
So can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you,
Ah,
and I think it was just me. I'm sorry again.
perfect. No, no worries. All right. So enough of me. What
No, I
about
mean
you?
okay. I mean Jorge was asking, probably was asking you. How often do you work after hours? I suppose. Um,
Yeah. Okay. I stopped just last week because I have to confess that the last week we haven't this show because I have issues with my head.
gosh.
So yeah,
Okay.
I've been very busy. I mean, not just for the work, so personal issues, but I'm okay. So I just need a breath. Sometimes everybody needs a breath and say, okay, stop right there and just work what is essential. I mean, with your job. But I used to work about 2 or 3 hours after hours. I don't know if that's correct, but yeah. I mean, not the things for the job, uh, but yeah, working on different other projects. Or yeah, I don't know. What about you? Uh,
I mean, it's insane the amount of time that I work after hours. Yeah, I mean, in terms of personal projects, I mean, I have around 1,000 personal projects. Some of them are like more dead than others. But yeah, I mean, even if we consider like Kodekai, this is or Kodekai. How would you pronounce it in English? I would still go for Kodekai. Um, yeah, I mean, even if you consider this, I mean, we're sort of like working at this moment. So I mean, I would include that in this work after hours thing for personal projects. Uh, no, but yeah, I mean, I usually it sounds bad because I keep telling people not to stress so much, not to work a lot. When I'm
or
actually,
just to sleep?
yeah, I mean, I had to wake up very early today, anyways. But yeah, that's another story. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I would say that if I spend, let's say, being realistic, at work, I spend around like 5 hours of just pure focus, concentration work.
Mhm.
Outside working hours, I would say that I spend more or less the same, 4 hours, 5 hours. Obviously, that expands into more like something like more like 6 hours of pretending that I'm working, because I mean, no, I'm not. Most of the some of the time, I'm just um, trying to stir some controversy in Twitter, apparently. Uh, but yeah. I mean, that's sort of like the amount of time, and I mean
Making
it's good. It's good. I feel like this is my hobby. I have plenty of hobbies, programming and just doing these sort of things is one of them. So again, it's working, but at the same time, I'll be like, I just like doing it.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you're actually having a productive activity after hours right now. Thanks for all this session. No, thanks for you for being here, for sticking here with us. Twitter controversies. Yes, I mean it's been a
Yeah, I will
wild
say.
ride, I think.
Yeah, I will say making funny tweets.
Yeah, I mean I would classify that as shit posting sometimes as well. That's a very beautiful word. I don't know why don't we have something like that in Spanish. We might have, maybe. Not quite sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's sort of like mm, a lot of time goes into creating these shows. The whatever happens on Thursday. Thursday is just a mess, probably. But yeah, I'm going back to make videos again.
How many streams are you making at the week? Because I see
I
a lot of notifications because I'm
Oh
subscribed to your
snaps!
channel.
Thank you very much. Um, I mean, back then in the good old days, there was a week when I did one every day, and that was insane. It's unsustainable if you are doing like technical work, I'd say. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I would
absolutely.
love to go back and do that, but there is just not enough time to prepare material. I mean, right now it's just this one Thursdays, which is more like casual Thursday. It's a mess. I mean, it's for me it's very entertaining. I hope for people it is, because I mean I don't usually prepare anything for that. Just like, okay, let's go. Let's see what we can talk about. Uh, Saturdays I used to have like at the beginning of the year I was programming in C sharp. Then I moved on to like a data fundamentals course, Python. But yeah, I mean, preparing that was making me go even bolder, even faster. Um, but yeah, I mean, right now I'm just gonna try to decrease that. Obviously, again, one of the reasons is that my partner wasn't here, so I was free to do with the apartment whatever the hell I
Yeah.
wanted. But now, I mean, she's back. We have to respect our spaces. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm
Mhm.
gonna try to decrease that. Well, I'm also, I mean, that doesn't count. I mean, that's even though it feels like work sometimes. I also sometimes I just like play Minecraft. I'm not. I don't do it anymore in my YouTube channel. People get annoyed at me. But yeah, in Twitch, I usually play Minecraft. It's funny, and I get to steer more Twitter controversies, but just by myself. Nobody cares about what I said when I'm playing Minecraft. So yeah, I mean that's sort of what I usually do. And I like streaming. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for quite a while. I think streaming is probably the next frontier. I mean, it's already here, but probably the next frontier for me. I just wish I had more time. Maybe over the next few years. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. Diego is here as well.
Yeah. It says when as goods
Éxito.
have a success.
Éxito. Yeah, I mean, oh, hell, where is my cap? Never mind. I should have worn
Which
my
cap?
I Love Washington cap
Oh,
from Open
I
English
remember.
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is. Should be somewhere around there. Um, but yeah, I mean, in terms of other projects, again, as I said, I do have many. Um, I have like a couple of scrapers that constantly scrape the president's website to download whatever crap he usually says in the morning, and in the afternoon, this guy, the health secretary. I hope that's still running, but it usually every single day is supposed to be scraping the website and publishing that data set somewhere for people to use it. But again, I'm not quite sure that thing still is still alive. I should check. Another project that
Also,
yeah,
oh,
tell me.
no, maybe you are gonna tell us the project that you mentioned me last week, I think.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
mean that's still sort of like a secret, but yeah, I mean we can talk a little bit about it.
just if you want, but yeah, I think it's very awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that project started like, I mean, I have a project which is I'll properly sort of like announce this Thursday. So if you want to know what the hell is all about, probably this Thursday in my off the rails stream on
Okay,
Thursday, I might announce
I'll be
it
there.
properly. Um, but yeah, I mean, I at the beginning of the year I bought a domain because I had this idea in mind. And I spent so much time just thinking about what technologies to use.
Hmm.
It was a huge mistake. I mean, next time I have an idea, I'll be just like straight up whatever I know the best, whatever I know is going to work, I'll do that. Because yeah, I mean, I was talking to this guy. You probably know him, Alejandro Cepeda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him, and at the end of the session, I asked him. I mean, that's sort of like one of the reasons I invited him, because I wanted to sort of like more like a one-to-one conversation with him. So
Hmm.
I took advantage of that, and I asked him like um, about that. Like, do you usually learn while doing these sort of projects? And he's like, no, I mean, I think you should just take whatever technology works for you, whatever technology you already know, and just focus on doing your tasks. Because I mean, otherwise you're splitting your time. You're splitting your time between learning stuff and
And
actually
making.
doing and actually doing something productive. Because I mean, it's very rare that, let's say, you follow a tutorial or something like that tells you at the end you will be able to make a web application, and
Mhm.
it's usually just like a to-do list or a shopping site or something like that, which is impressive on its own, but it's not your idea, right? It's not something that you're actually passionate about, or it's not something um, that you really care. I mean, who cares in this day and age to create like a shopping website when there is like a ton of services, right? I mean, you might be interested in doing that, but I don't see like a lot of people being really passionate about creating a shopping website, for example.
Mhm.
I mean, you might be, and by all means, just go crazy with that. I just don't see that being a thing right now.
But yeah, I'm very curious. What technologies did you choose? Because
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, at the beginning, I was like, yeah, let's go React, let's go. What was I going to use? Oh no, at the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, let's go and use Blazor, which is
C sharp,
sort of like
think.
C sharp, client side C sharp,
Hmm.
and I just got stuck. I got stuck between sort of like wrapping my head around Blazor and working with the UI using Blazor and those kind of things. So I think I spent like a good old a good chunk, like 2 weeks, just trying to learn Blazor properly and how to secure it and server side versus client side and so on. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't really care about Blazor that much. I just care about my project. That's why I was like, no, let's abandon this. Let's jump ship. Let this one sink. Then I moved on to React. Actually, I was like, okay, let's use React, and that was around the time we had these sessions.
Okay,
And I mean, the sessions were wonderful. I understood a lot, but again, I sort of like I started hitting walls with my limited knowledge. And it wasn't like I had like a. I mean, I know I could have asked you or whatever, but it wasn't like I had someone like to coach me directly or someone
or
who I
maybe
could.
yeah, or maybe having a person that says in the code review something, or yeah, you know that in that specific cases you learn a lot, and you are like a sponge when you are joining a new team
Mhm.
which has members that constantly giving you this feedback from your code. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I should have the code base, the initial code base for this application, and I'm pretty sure if you see it, you would slap me or you would be like, "What the
no,
hell
no.
is this?" Probably not
No.
slap me, but just think about uh, what horrible mistakes I made. But yeah, I mean, I was like, no, this is not going to work again. I'm still focusing too much time in learning properly React instead of focusing on my project. So
Sure.
yeah, I mean, at the end, I just went for Python, Python all the way. And it's funny because I actually started learning something called Fast API, which is like a Python framework to develop web APIs initially. But people have extended it so that you are able to render um, full web pages, not necessarily just like returning JSON or XML from your website from your web service.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, to an extent, I was learning again, but I mean, Fast API is just like very easy. You basically just write methods and that's it. It's not that hard or anything.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, let's say I spent like 1 day learning Fast API, just the basics, and the rest of the time has been fully devoted towards making the tier more secure or making it more friendly. One thing that I still lack is UI knowledge. It's horrible. I mean, I'm still using Bootstrap. I'm still using jQuery, for example. I'm still using. Yeah, I mean, I think this is my favorite combination of all times.
Yeah, but
Bootstrap
that
plus
doesn't mean
jQuery.
that you. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that that you are lacking of knowledge. I mean, one thing at being some sort of front end engineer, it's just surrendered by CSS. And I mean, right now we do have a lot of things like Flexbox or something that are gonna make the things easier for you. Uh, but yeah, you have to. I, in my case, I'm not considering myself as an expert in all the related stuff with CSS and styles and everything related with that. But uh, I just focusing on the core things that I usually use to have success on my projects or on my task. So uh, you say that using Bootstrap, and it's not bad. I mean, that doesn't mean that you are bad at front end. Just use what you know and what you it's what is the best for you at that moment, and that's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, when you compare it to with someone who's actually like a full front end engineer,
Oh,
obviously they're gonna do wonders. I'm pretty sure you'll do wonders if I ever show you the code base. Um, but yeah, I mean, at the moment it's just a weird mixture because I'm also using something called Parcel to
mm,
because I wanted to use some. Oh my god, I have a lot of opinions about that. I wanted to install a JavaScript library, and it says it works on the server. It works in the browser, and I was like, okay, just give me the CDN, baby. That's all I need. And there is no
mm,
CDN. You just have to do like npm install or something like that. I mean, I don't even
yep.
remember the command. And I was like, okay, uh, thank you. So yeah, I mean, I had to sort of like try to learn on this. I think it was Jorge who recommended it. I'm not sure Jorge is still here, but yeah, he was like, "Oh, you should use something called Parcel," and I was like, "Okay, Parcel." So again, I had to use that. Uh, I kind of understand what's going on, but not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird mixture between using npm, then using jQuery, which is, I download from a CDN. Um, and then I also had to use Node. You know these images, the OG images, the Open Graph.
Hmm.
That when you post a link, let's say on Facebook or on Twitter, sometimes you get an image or you get a video or something like that. So I had to use Node. Yeah, yes, for that. I think it's using Node. So yeah, I mean it's a weird mixture of technology.
Yeah, it sounds like, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Oh.
that's a completely different project, by the way. I mean it's not just like there is the Python code base and there is the Node code base, which is just something that I found online.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean it's been a learning experience, and I do hope at least I'm gonna try to use that website. If anyone else can wants to use it, yeah, just by all means feel free to do it. I mean, at the
Okay.
moment it's free. I mean, hopefully it will stay free. The only cost that I'm foreseeing is just keeping it up in terms of the paying for the servers. The domain, I mean, I just love the domain. I would tell it, but it's online and it's not ready, so I'm sorry.
Mm,
But yeah,
yeah.
Thursday is coming.
Yeah, I want to be jealous because no, well, no, I don't want to be jealous. Actually, I'm going to be jealous about that you are gonna talk about that in your in your podcast, but not here.
Yeah, I
Nah, I'm
mean,
just kidding.
it's I can we can talk about it next Thursday if you want. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, something. I mean, what the hell? If people want to listen to it again on Thursday, something that I hope I'm able to do is to develop features for it, like live again, or just like maybe videos. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure about the right format for these kind of things. But yeah, I mean, one of my ideas is to have like a public board where I list the features and I can just go there and be like, okay, you know what? Let's work on this or let's work on that.
Okay.
Um, and I've been having like conversations in my mind again. Um, like I've always wanted to collaborate with people, but I'm not quite sure what do I have to offer them. Like in this case, I would really love for someone who knows some front end development to come into the project and be like, you know what, this is rubbish, or you know what, let's change this, or let's do that because it's going to make it better. But again, I don't have anything to offer to them, so I feel like it's a bit
But
trashy to be like. you know what, come and do this for me, or come and do this for the project. I'll pay you nothing because I don't have any money to pay you. It's a bit weird.
No, I'm really sad about that because I I would love to join to your team and start working on that. I mean, the last time that we talked about that project, you mentioned me your idea, but actually you didn't invite me. So
Oh, snaps. No,
yeah,
I mean, again, it's just this feeling of I don't want to feel like entitled to your time, and I know you're like a free agent, and you do whatever you want, right? But again, I don't want to sort of like bully people into being like, oh, I have this idea. I don't want to be that friend, like, oh, I have this idea, you code it, I just sell it or something. I don't want to be that
no,
person.
but I do know you, and I think that we have all this friendship, and we know each other for a couple of years. So yeah, sometimes I'm in the mood that right now I'm just learning a lot of stuff, a lot of things, and being involved in a lot of projects, not just development projects, but projects that make me grow as a developer and as an engineer. So yeah, you know that, for example, I do have the music, so the
Hmm.
guitar playing. I just put that thing, just move it, and I'm right now focusing on learning new stuff, getting involved in different projects and learning a lot of stuff. So I I, I really appreciate that. If you want to join your application, I'll be very happy to
Good, good,
contribute.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah. I mean, again, I mean, it's not my main job. I don't wish for this to be the main job of anyone because I mean, just a website that came up in my mind. That now that I'm gonna reduce my streaming hours, probably not. I'm not going to use that much myself again. It's a bit weird, but yeah, I mean, something that I really want to do. Something that. I've been wanting to do it since the beginning of the year. I mean, since I bought the domain, you can go and see. I think I bought it at the beginning of January or something like that. Lancer, no, is this your UI, mate? It's rubbish, mate. Like stuff for that. Yeah, I mean, like for example, I still see the Diego's comment in there. I was doing like this is sort of like the next iteration of something that I was coding online, that is called uh, Latin times or something like that. I don't really remember the name, but yeah, I mean that allowed you to schedule like different time zones, or allowed you to see different time zones from your console. So this is sort of like the next iteration of that. And that
Okay.
was cool because at some point he made some pull requests. I received some other pull requests from the community, and I know that if I make this open source and I publicize it enough, people are going to join. But at this stage, I would like to have more like a because I mean, once you make it open source and if you have no control over it, you don't specify what's the goals and so on. People just start committing stuff, and
Hmm.
that is not something that I want. I want to still like have like a direction. And once it's stable, who knows? I'll probably just open source it and be like, you know what, you can just put this in your server or whatever if you want to have like your own page. All right,
Yeah.
you still have my hosted option.
Yeah.
Yeah, Latimes, Latin Times. It was a weird name. Sounds like LA Times, which is a newspaper.
L- Yeah, or something like Los Angeles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's Los Angeles newspaper, yeah, Los Angeles Times.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I
Yeah, but
mean,
again,
it's gonna be good, I suppose.
yeah, we can move around this idea and start implementing technologies that I consider that I'm good at it. So yeah, we
Sounds good.
just
Sounds
yep.
very good. I mean, yeah. I mean, again, I just I haven't invited anyone because to me it seems weird being like oh, come and do this or join the team, I have nothing to give you other than
The
it's
experience of
the
working
experience,
with me.
the experience of working with me and the recognition, right? Yeah, I
No,
mean but yeah, I mean, thanks for joining. I'll add it to the repository, and we can have a session to explain you like a few things about
very
what the hell
excited
is
about
going
it.
on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of like going back to the personal projects before I keep on ranting about stuff. Yeah, I mean that's one of the most prominent ones, aside from obviously all these sort of sessions or things that I do. My God,
Hmm.
it's insane. It's already. Uh, I can see the sun already.
Like a
uh,
vampire.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I can probably show you around.
All right.
It's
Nice.
it's already it's the day already, and it's like not even 4:30 in the morning. Uh, but anyways, yeah. And I at the moment I'm also trying to work in starting the draft of a book that I'm going to write, which is going to be kind of cool. I would consider that to be a personal project as well.
Hmm.
And I am also writing some outlines for courses that I want to give. Some of them are public, some of them um, were like private as well, or paid.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because I saw your tweets and I was wondering like you know where are you putting where uh yeah, where are you putting these sort of courses, or I don't know what is the format that you are gonna follow in order to, yeah, put courses on the internet? Are you gonna
Yeah,
sell them or?
yeah. I mean, initially, I mean, I don't have to keep it as a secret, but I won't say the platform until it's like fully settled.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, some of them are paid.
Okay.
It's one of these well-known platforms, so people probably already has access to them or knows about them at least.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, something that I felt, and I do appreciate a lot of people who might be listening to this were able to join on Saturdays during the live sessions that I had for either for the C Sharp course or the data fundamentals one. But I'm not quite certain that's sort of like the way a course like those should be presented anymore, because I feel like very little people benefit from that, and I do appreciate that. I hope it was useful for people who joined at the time, and it was live for them. I really appreciate that, but I don't feel like overall that it was like a very good format. It's not very digestible, I think.
Hmm.
So at the moment, I'm just trying to structure them more like in chunks, like these sort of like bite-sized pills of knowledge.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm working around that, just making like tiny blocks of videos, like say 5 to 10 minutes each video with a single
Yeah.
concept. Sometimes just code, sometimes theory, sometimes code and theory.
Hmm.
But yeah, just be more friendly, because when you start a video and you see it's 2 hours of a guy rambling about stuff, it might become hard. And at the
It's
moment,
hard.
when you're seeing it online, it might be fun, it might be entertaining, but then after that, it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna skip this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm going back to recorded content, and not only in YouTube, more mm, this time to be more like in a paid platform.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I'll do as much as I can to make these things available for the people that already follow me, because I feel it's a bit weird as well. But like I used to have like a I mean, I still have the public platform. I'm still gonna use it. I'm still sharing knowledge. There is plenty of interviews coming as well. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I feel I want to experiment with this paid content. But again, I'll try to do as much as I can to make it available for people that already exist
Mm,
within my community.
and I suppose that this is gonna be related with data science, or there's another topic that you plan at to that course.
Yeah, well, at the moment I'm working on something called Introductions to Machine Learning. Um, there is something else that I want to work on, which is ethics in machine learning. I'm very um, I'm passionate about that side. So yeah, I mean, overall, it mostly covers data science. And as I grow as a data engineer, especially in the ML ops side, I hope I can share more knowledge about this. Um, but yeah, I think for the time being, I'll focus my data science knowledge more into this platform,
Hmm.
and I'll try to keep whatever I'm learning about not data engineering, but more like machine learning engineering, those sort of things in the public platform.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's a
good.
nice
Maybe I'll
ride at
fight
me.
for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's I really like the idea these people have about the platform, and I was a big fan back then when they were only on YouTube. Sadly, I've grown apart from the platform. It's a bit weird. That's another thing that I have that I think some creators suffer. The more you become a creator, the less you become a consumer. So it's kind of hard to keep up with learning. And I mean, you usually learn, but you don't usually watch some other people's content. It's a bit weird. It's very very weird. It might be just
Yeah.
me, but I've heard that from other people. But yeah, the more you create, the less you consume. And I feel I'm gonna try to restore that balance.
Okay. Yeah, I think that creating is different from just teaching. Because teaching is some sort of learning. Uh, but I think, yeah, it's quite different from creating content and at the same time teaching from and sharing all the knowledge that you have already. Yeah, I think that we do have another comment from Alonso.
Speaking of intro to ML, do you have a look? Do you have took a look onto the Data Plus AI Summit or May? I did not know about this, but it's a virtual event happening from May 24 to May 28. It might be already be going on. Well, I didn't know about this, and it's a bit weird because usually my new manager she keeps sending me stuff, and I usually join sort of like the meetings. It's great. I mean, if I'll be like, okay, I want to join this conference, I'm able to. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know about this one.
Yeah, I mean neither. Well, actually, I'm not very close to the data stuff,
Hmm.
but yeah, I just have a ticket from the next event that I'm going to be, which is
Yeah,
related with the next JS. I don't know if you saw on my Twitter.
it was
I
everywhere.
published.
It was everywhere. Everyone had the ticket. I was like, I also want one, but I won't join this thing.
Why?
I mean, it's not my thing at this moment.
Okay.
I, I
Yeah.
I I do appreciate all these front end people. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Without them, our job would be just like a couple of buttons in a plain white background, and that's it. No, everything has to go to the server to be processed. Nothing happens in the browser, which is horrible. And that's how the
Yeah,
web
but
used to be. But yeah, now
that
not anymore.
that's a fun thing to mention. But with Next.js, you can handle server-side rendering directly. So maybe you want to join this. It's
Well,
it's it's pretty interesting.
I'll see. I'll see. I mean, it's yeah. Again, I had so many things to say about conferences. Again, I have
Yeah.
opinions on pretty much everything, as you can see. Um, but yeah, I mean, once everything is recorded, I might have a look at the and select a few things that I want that interest me particularly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, thanks for letting me know, Alonso. I already see some talks that I wish I could have joined before, and I hope they publish the video after that, after the event.
When is happening this?
Oh, it's already going on.
Oh,
It's like the whole week.
but it's some sort of boot camp or something.
It's more like a conference type of thing. Has trainings and just people talking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can already see some topics that might be interesting for me and for my current team.
Okay. All right.
Hey, now they have another project. We should organize a conference. But yeah, and maybe in the future, once I build enough bridges with a lot of people who want to join.
Yeah. I'm just muting my YouTube because somehow it got uh, unmuted. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
there you
gonna
go.
drive you insane. You keep hearing yourself like from 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's very weird and it just make a mess in my head. So yeah, I have to mute it. All right. So I don't know if you can tell us what about your current job. I also see a tweet today which is saying something like
Hmm.
you accomplished those 3 months.
Yeah,
What do you want to tell us about it? Yeah.
so basically, the way that it works, I think it's sort of like a common practice here. Not sure if it's like a widespread practice. You usually join a company and you're on something called probation for around 3 months. Sometimes this probation period might be extended to 6 months if the company is not so happy with your performance. But yeah, during these 3 months, during your probation period, regardless if it lasts 3 months, 6 months, whatever months,
Yeah, whatever
uh,
is the time. Yeah.
yeah, you're subject to different conditions. Like for example, in here, your contract specifies how many days you have to leave before telling the company you're going to leave, and how many days the company has to tell you before they basically fire you.
Okay.
So I think, I mean, I'm going to talk about my previous job, how the conditions were.
Okay.
Uh, because in my previous job, when you were on probation, there was just 1 week. So let's say I tell the company, okay, I want to leave. And if I tell them today, I can only leave next week because there is this notice period that is called. So when you're on probation, that was just 1 week. And once you're out of probation, you become like a full-time employee. Your
Hmm.
probation period was extended to 1 month.
Okay.
So that's one of the benefits because I mean the company is protected, you're protected as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that's one of the things sort of like that you benefit from when you're not in probation. You get access to a lot of benefits. Like for example, there is a lot of I don't know, like health benefits, or
Hmm.
maybe you get like you can expense stuff. I think when you're on probation, I wasn't allowed to before in my previous company.
Hmm.
But now that I'm out of probation, I can do whatever I want. So let's say I'm just like a first class employee now.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that is that in my current position, it was 3 months probation time, but we realized that we both were happy with the situation. I was very excited to join, and that excitement has. Um, I mean, I've kept that excitement, and the job is sort of amazing, and my team are happy with me as well. So I think it was more like Like, okay, let's just formalize it. Let's just put a ring on it and let's go.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, which is pretty great, to be honest. I don't
Yeah,
have to worry about these 3 months coming again, and in 3 months, anything can happen, right?
yeah. I mean, it's very important. I mean, when you are just getting into this enterprise environment, you didn't realize that something like saving funds or the health. I don't know how to say, but you mentioned the
The
el
benefits,
seguro. Yeah, the benefit from
yeah,
the health, it's very important because you, as you mentioned, you don't know what is going to happen, and it's, yeah, it's better to have all these benefits in your, yeah, in your life and your job.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I wasn't particularly worried about them firing me after 3 months, to be honest. It's just nice to know that that is not going to happen, and that I don't have to stress about it. Obviously, I still one has to still maintain the level, right? One has to still show up every single day and do the work. But yeah, now I'm not so worried about those 3 months coming and being like, oh, am I going to stay? Am I not going to stay?
Yeah,
But yeah, and I do see that as a recognition of the work that I've been doing so far, which is great. It feels good to
yeah,
be recognized.
yeah, absolutely. It's a weight less in your life, I think.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
mean, at least in your professional side of your life. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest,
Congratulations.
thanks, thanks. To be honest, I
Mhm.
don't really know what sort of like separate benefits I'm unlocking, because I think my team is quite flexible in those terms. But yeah, I'll need to have a look as to see what I'm gaining other than being stress free.
I'm so you are not reading your new contract, or are you signing even your a new contract? But with this change? No.
I have no idea.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I think the contract says that I will receive a letter saying confirming that I'm not sure if I receive another contract. I don't think so. I don't think I received another contract from my previous. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, I think I was too excited to join this company.
Okay, that says everything.
Yeah, yeah. That most likely is just going to be a letter. But if I have to sign another contract, then that's fine.
Yeah, but you need to have in mind which are the benefits that you are gonna receive, and
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
even knowing that, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
again, I think it's something about the amount of days that you're able to take without consuming from your paid time off. But again, my team is more very relaxed in those terms. Like for example,
Okay.
today I'm just gonna be there for like half a day because I'll have to go and view some flats,
Hmm.
and I'm not consuming any of my time, any of my holiday time, which
Yeah,
is great.
yeah, yeah. It's something that I'm glad to be also at Whiteland because, for example, yesterday I spent a lot of time after hours working, and I just give a message to my manager, and which I tell him I spend a lot of hours working just after hours, and I'm going to join
Like
later.
today. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
really cool.
it feels really good actually. One of my colleagues in my previous job, so we had to coordinate with people in the US, and it's like 6 hours, 4 or 6 hours
Yeah.
earlier in the US, and they had their stand up, let's say around 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and one of my colleagues was joining their stand up, which is around let's say 8 p.m. here.
Hmm.
And nobody knew, he was just joining, and then once my manager knew, our manager knew, he was like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing that? And he's like, no,
Hmm.
I want to know what's going on. Okay, if you want to join their stand up, just come to the office late.
Okay.
Don't feel pressure to come early because you're working so late at night. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, that sounds good. I like this.
Yeah. Having the opportunity to manage your time as you want, it's uh, it's something that I really appreciate.
Yeah, it's a great privilege.
Hmm.
Definitely.
And this is something that came from another company culture, I think, because here in Mexico, it's really unusual. See these sort of enterprises that allows you to manage your time as you want. So yeah, sadly, this is the way it is.
Yeah, this is the way with the Mandalorians. Hey.
Yeah, this is the way.
No, I mean, I hope it changes. I hope it changes. I mean, there is a lot of things that I would change. And I see that companies like Wiseline and maybe some other, maybe not so big, but transnational companies are bringing to the table to the working patterns of the Mexicans, the Latin American people
Yeah.
are bringing. And it's changing. I hope it changes faster. Yeah, I mean, like holidays. I mean, I'm not sure how many days holidays you have, um, but it's insane that in some companies just give you like 10 days a year. I cannot go back to that. It's just
N-
not enough anymore.
No, even I work for Telcel. Here's a very famous company for the mobile services, and they just give you 6 days at year.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
Hmm.
And yeah, I cannot go back to that. Yeah, uh, sort of because I have tell you I have told you that at that company there was like a very micromanagement issues,
Hmm.
having managing your time and a lot of things, really weird things that happen inside of there. So yeah, I cannot go back to that sort of I don't know how to say it, job pattern or something. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. I mean, I think that the government has to be more strong. Has to be stronger in that sense. I am very. I have lost hope for companies. I don't think they oftentimes that sometimes they might do something good for the workers, but I mean they're just profit. I think the government has to do something. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm deviating. Umberto Cortez asks, there are more vacation in European companies, I suppose. I'm not quite sure about European companies, but in the UK, the base, the standard, at least in technology, I'm not so sure it's government mandated, is to have 25 days of
Wow.
holidays. And on top of that, you get 8 bank holidays, which is just like feriados or
Hmm.
yeah, días feriados in Mexico, for example. So that would
Hmm.
be around 33 days that you don't have to work, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, totally and absolutely. But in fact, you can take all those days. I mean, being realistic, uh, yeah, with all the tasks that you have in your
Uh,
work.
what do you mean by obviously I cannot be like, you know what, I'll see you in 2 months, suckers, because
Yeah, that's
I
what I
cannot,
mean.
I cannot do that. I cannot. I mean, I might be able to if I plan accordingly. If I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go and just hike on and the D bed or something like that. So I'll block 2 months, like within, let's say next year I want to take 2 months of my job and I'll consume my entire days. No, I think that's something that you have to plan. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can just take. I've taken 33 days of holidays. Um, without any issue.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, you just have to plan accordingly. You just have to be like, um, obviously, you don't need to ask for permission. You just need to let people know, and
Yeah.
it's a good idea to tell your team like in advance that you're gonna go away for like a week, or you're gonna go away for, I don't know, a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah. But
impressive the amount of rights that workers have over here.
yeah, it's very amazing to have uh, uh, that amount of days as holidays. And yeah, PTO days are great because
Yes. I
yeah.
I I had a colleague in my previous job that,
Mhm.
as you some companies, as you grow within the company, the more time you spend with the company, the more holidays you get. And I think in my previous company, after 5 years, each new year you got like a couple of days, extra days. So I think he had like something like 40 days of holidays, and then on top of
Well,
that he was able to buy 5 days from the company, so it was basically just like 45 days
no
of,
way.
paid time off, which is uh, insane. Actually,
Yeah,
insane.
it's crazy.
I mean, at that point you might not have enough money to go on holidays, but you can just stay in your house doing nothing or
Yeah,
doing whatever you
exactly.
want.
Having some rest at home. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's some sort of dream
Yeah.
from the companies right here at Latam. Yeah. Because right now I do have just 12 official days, but three more floating dates. And yeah, practically I have 15 days a
Hmm.
year. But the good thing is that, for example, I remember that last year when I was on my previous project, I spent a couple of hours working after hours as a request from my manager, but they just give me 1 day as PTO to take it whenever I want,
Hmm.
and that's pretty. That's a very awesome thing because they know that the most valuable asset at the company are actually the employees. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very glad uh, to know that no matter if I spend uh, after hours working, I'll be receiving some sort of I don't know if it says compensation or
Hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's crazy. Again, I mean, this is off the rails. No longer talking about personal projects, but
yeah,
um, yeah, something that I really like as well is the ability of just saying I'm sick, I'm not going to join,
oh
which is pretty. I was going to say poggers, but that's Twitch lingo. It's pretty amazing, and I feel, as a Latin American, it is still weird for me. It's something that I really admire people from UK and people who has worked for so long in these companies, because they know they deserve these days. They feel entitled to them, and
yeah,
being like, you know what, I'm feeling sick. I'm not going to join. My head hurts. My throat is itchy. Um, I'm very drowsy, or something. Saying things like that is something that me as a Latin American, I feel like, what? It's just your head.
yeah.
Come on, just hop on. Just
Yeah, exactly. Having
work
the
through it.
feeling that yeah, exactly. Having the feeling like that like it's a privilege and not a mandatory thing that every human is it yeah need for it. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I remember, and I do have pictures of me wearing a face mask. I was like very ahead of the times, because I usually, when I was sick, uh, I went to the office, but I always wear mask. There are pictures of me from around 2013, 2014, of me wearing masks in the office because I was sick. But now it's insane. I mean, I was sick. What the hell was I doing in the office? And nobody
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, Antonio, you're sick. Go back home." No, nothing, nothing. Just this
yeah,
this mentality of you have to constantly work, even though you're feeling like shit.
yeah,
Um, and it's something that I really admire people here. That they just don't care about that. It's like, I'm sick. My head hurts. I'll see you
yeah.
tomorrow, and
Yeah,
nobody
it's a
says anything.
completely different. Yeah, it's a completely mindset, a completely different mindset that people from other countries have. And yeah, we are like I don't know how to say it in English, but as you mentioned, constantly just working and working, and I'm paying for you, so you have to come here and work, no matter if you are feeling like shit,
Hmm.
and no matter if you have personal issues or something. And that's something very that right now that I'm working in a company that really care about this. I'm just feeling and thinking I won't come back to these companies that doesn't care
Yeah,
about his, yeah, this
yeah. I
matter.
mean, I would say you feel like you're broken, but no, I mean you're actually improved. And again, I mean, I recognize that there is people who still have to work at these jobs, and I do hope some at some point either their work evolves or they're able to move to a better place to work. And we saying this is not mocking anyone. It's just like, there is this thing. Try to
Yeah,
aim for it. And yeah, I mean, it's something that is out there. It's something that can be obtained. Just don't. If you have to work at these jobs, just think of it as being temporary. Work your way. Try to work your way out of that job. Sometimes it's just luck. You might get lucky. Sometimes, yeah, your work will pay off. But yeah, I mean, just try to aim for better things. Definitely.
yeah.
Humberto
We,
says, "What is the opinion of the
yeah,
policy of putting your shirt on to make your work longer hours?" Oh, it's a scummy. It's a scummy when employees try to. Um, that is violence. I keep saying that there is violence. That's psychological violence. Treating you like family. When, I mean, some cases it will be like maybe they really like you, but in most of the cases they just really want you to work there for long without feeling uh, entitled to more pay or to I don't know, more compensation. But yeah, it's a bit weird. Like they're like, oh, you have to put on the shirt. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. It's a proper translation. But yeah, I mean, it's very shitty. Or when they say, "Oh, you're a trusted employee," and that is something that is in the laws, I think, in Mexican law, something
yeah,
like
I think
trusted
so.
employees or something like that, empleados de confianza, which basically is like, yeah, you're a trusted employee, so you have to work more without us paying you, which is very, again, it's very messed up.
Yeah, yeah. As you mentioned, it's psychological violence at
Yeah, I
work.
mean, yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, we're friends and we're family and blah 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 blah, and they're sort of like messing with your head because you're like, oh, we're family. I have to do favors for them. I mean, I don't even do favors for my family. Come on, what the hell are you expecting me to do for you, man? I mean, my family
Yeah.
has to pay me if they want stuff from me. Obviously, not my mom and my dad, but my brother, hey, pay me.
Yeah, it's really it's really bad. That's the thing. It's really bad. And the sad thing, I think, is most of us as accept that, you know, when you are working, you need to work, you need to receive money, you need cash, and say, okay, I,
Yeah.
ne- I need to work just to keep this keep the things working on. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, part of it is mentality. a great deal of it is just the necessity, and we don't know any other way. That's why I hope, like, by people talking about this, us talking about this, someone else. I mean, there is plenty of talks about this. Um, the employees realize that there is better stuff, and the employers also realize that they have to treat people better. Because
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, we're gonna win, and companies who still follow these very shady practices are just gonna disappear, and they
Yeah.
have to
I hope
get
that.
up to date. Yeah,
Yeah, one other thing that I want to mention. I mean, we're not talking about personal projects any
yeah,
longer,
it's off
but
the rails. It's off the rails. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I like it.
absolutely. Yeah, I like it too. But another thing that come to my mind is the thing when you start working as a, I mean, just as a developer, a junior developer, when you just finished your bachelor degree. Um, it's that you accept salary, which I think that here at Latam it's very poor. I mean, I started working with a company or a startup that was just paying me 7,000 bucks at month, and that's very sad because we say here that we are not making enchiladas.
Yeah,
Coding, and even if you are learning at your uh, company and just being like a sponge, yeah, learning a lot of things, you are making great things. I mean, no, if you put to make these sort of things to anyone that is not prepared and at this topic, it's just it will be quite too impossible, right?
yeah. I mean, you're making an effort, and definitely
Yeah,
you're contributing, whether with your knowledge or, I mean, maybe you're even testing the ability of the company to pass knowledge. I mean, you have to be paid for that as well.
yeah, and good. Yeah, receiving good payment is like a hard thing for the juniors. I mean, when you are just completing your career. But yeah, it's a concept that I see right now because the brother of my partner is just uh, he just completed his career last year, I think, and it's quite difficult to find a job that is related because every single startup or enterprise asks for experience. And yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, he
it's
has
hard.
personal projects and knowledge, very basic knowledge, yeah, but finally it's knowledge from certain language, and it's very difficult for him to find even find an enterprise that wants to uh,
To hire him.
you know yeah, yeah, hire him.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's a
it sucks being like the, because even like in big company. I mean, again, we're talking about big companies, but even in big companies, the interns are very well compensated, I think,
yeah,
which I recognize might not be necessarily the case for small companies. They might not have the budget or whatever, but I feel they can make up for it with some other benefits. I don't know, like less working hours or more opportunities for training or things like that.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I definitely understand that feeling. I mean, I started working when I was a teenager, so, and that was just by stroke of luck. I mean, I knew I was good, but basically, my one of my cousins introduced me to this company he was working at, and they were like, "Yeah, I mean, come here, work with us." Again, the pay wasn't that good, but still, I had the opportunity to gain experience.
yeah, yeah, and that's the whole thing. I mean, uh, some of these startups just are telling you that you are gonna learn, but I'm not gonna pay you. and that's the
Yeah.
other that's the other horrible thing, which
Well,
is
just ask for a part of the company. What the hell?
yeah, exactly.
But like,
So
okay, give me equity, and let's see where we go from here. I mean, that's one of the benefits. Let's say like, maybe you're working on the next what's sort of cool, the next TikTok, and who knows, maybe you go to the moon with your equity, which is I think it's nice. I mean, I would love to do that. I don't have the financial stability to get involved in that. But yeah, I mean, maybe if you're very passionate about what the company is doing, just join. But be like, if you're not gonna pay me enough, just give me some portion, and and let's see.
yeah, but what I mean is it's sad because uh, it's something like thinking about the startup from the down the corner, and you know that this startup is not gonna be the next TikTok or
Okay.
the
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah. I mean, I see. I see.
and yeah, so you say, okay, I'm gonna learn, but I'm gonna make things for you, so you need to pay me, and I'm not. Uh, I mean, maybe you really enjoy to develop things and coding, but you are working right now as to survive,
Yeah.
to have food. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that you enjoy working on the fact that you enjoy coding or whatever shouldn't be an opportunity for anyone to take advantage of that.
exactly.
Because
That's what
yeah,
I
I
mean.
mean, they're like, "What's your hobby?" And you say, "Oh, I like programming," and they're like, "This guy like just programs for out of passion. We may be able to take advantage of that," which is a very shitty position.
Yeah, but
I mean, even
you
if
cannot.
no,
No, I'm just gonna say that you are not eating passion, or you are
yeah,
not surviving by passion.
hmm yes, yes, yes.
So it's not very congruent, but it happens, and a lot of right over here in Mexico. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I think it's a widespread situation in Latin America, not necessarily just in Mexico.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks. And
yeah,
again, sometimes it's just luck. You get lucky and you move on to a better position, but just try to work towards that goal, anyways.
yeah. All right, we do have another more comment from Alonso with
Oh
we
yeah,
didn't actually read for
yeah. I
a
mean,
Mexican person.
I read that, but yeah, I mean, I just share the feeling. Uh, Even now, I still feel ashamed of saying I'm sick. Basically,
Yeah,
I mean, it shouldn't be the case, but again, I was raised that way. I'm working on changing that, but yeah, it feels weird to me to still be like, oh, I'm sick, I have a headache or something like that, and it's
yeah,
crazy because whenever I say, oh, I have a headache, uh, all my team members are like, oh, you should go and rest or take the day off, and I'm like, what? It's just a headache. What the hell?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, now I'm trying to take it easy.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
as I mentioned, it's quite difficult because it's just changing your whole mindset, sorry. So yeah, it's like changing your mental chip
Yeah.
from thinking that you are not being responsible enough, like taking sick days.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Even if
It's
you are living in a country that all the guys at your company are with this different mindset.
hmm yeah, yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. Even now that I'm gonna take, again, as I said today, I'm taking half day just to go and see some flats. I
Hmm.
still have the in my mind that I have to come back after in the evening and work during the night, and I'm not quite sure. I don't think I'm expected to do it, but I still feel like I should do it. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
very weird. It's
yeah,
very
it's
very weird.
it's 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 something inside of you telling you need to be responsible.
Yeah, I mean, just yeah. I'm not sure if responsible is the right word. But it's more like you need to work this time. You're expected to work 8 hours,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, it's a weird feeling. I'll update on Twitter if I worked or not.
Okay.
It depends. It depends.
Yeah, but I mean, at this company, you can do it, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
So
it's a great
not
it's a great
not
place to work.
everybody has that privilege.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're just gonna take it.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any more comments. I don't know where this conversation is gonna be uh, take, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think it might be time to go. Let me just show you, just give you a quick update on the day situation over here.
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this stage it will be hard for me to just go back to the bed. I'll just try. Um, but yeah, I mean, just I'm glad we did this. I think it's fun. I hope it was instructive for people saying this, whether like right now or if they see the video afterwards. Yeah, I mean, just let us know if this was useful or
Yeah, exactly.
entertaining.
That's something that I'm gonna say. Yeah, if you enjoy this English session, you can tell us here or at Twitter, whatever you want to, and maybe we can make another session in English, but more technical. I mean, just making whatever in Python, React, Go, whatever. Uh, but yeah, it's very funny. I mean, I'm not an expert talking in English, but I really enjoy to talk in English and having a conversation in English.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we all improve. And I can
Mhm.
see that feedback is great. Really nice to hear you speaking English. We do not want to throw away the live. We're not throwing it away. We're keeping it in YouTube. And Alonso says it's a very good idea. I mean, I'm happy to keep doing stuff in English. I mean, I have to speak in English anyways. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm happy to keep doing it.
yeah,
But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Maybe something more technical. Maybe some other off the rails episode. We still have some questions we might be able to answer next time. But
yeah,
yeah, I think that for the time being, we should part ways and say goodbye for today.
yeah. For today, at least. Yep, I'm agree. We need to have some rest. Don't forget
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. That rest, please rest. I'll just
Yeah,
try to go back to the bed, but again, it's just already the sun is out. What the hell am I supposed to do? Sleep. I'll try. I'll try.
I have to mention that when the sun has go out, and I can even go to the bed because I my body feels like, you know what, you need to start your day.
Hmm.
In fact,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean, that's the feeling I have right now. I'm not sure if I should just stand up and start working. I mean, not working on work, but working on my personal projects again.
yeah, yeah,
I can show you something cool about this desk.
yeah. Let us
Is that
see.
I can stand up. It's amazing, right?
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I really loved your mice that you have just behind you. It,
Uh, this
yeah,
one. I've
yeah, that
painted
one.
it myself. I made it myself.
Oh, really
I'm an
nice.
artist as well. Yes.
Yeah. It's that Jerry or
It's
his
called
son,
Nibbles.
maybe.
It's
Oh,
I think it's like the Jerry's nephew,
son,
something like
nephew.
that.
Okay,
Yeah, but it's called Nibbles. It's not
neighbors.
Jerry, but yeah, it's in the show. It's part of the Tom and Jerry cinematic universe.
Okay, cinematic universe.
Yeah, it's part of the
Okay,
lore. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where does he come from, but yeah, he's part of the TJ CU.
okay. I think that we need to drop off this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's just go. I mean, it's off the rails, and yeah. Oh, thanks, Humberto Cortez. Peregrine is my hero. Thank you very much. I do what I can. We do what we can. Hopefully this was useful and it was entertaining at least. If you want to hear us talk about some other stuff, or even in English or in Spanish, just tell us. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you for joining. Have a great night, day, or morning, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Morning
see
for
you
me.
next time.
Yep. See you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.